Yo, what's going on everyone? Guiding Light here, and in this one, I'm going to show you guys how to complete the 5 teachings. Now, once you're ready, it says to meet Takezo at the top of the world, where you have to equip the 5 charms. Now, you'll only unlock this after doing all of the other dueling trees as well. I think you got to do 5 of them. They were pretty simple, at least since I'd already beat the campaign. I'm pretty maxed out in terms of my gear and my sword upgrades, so definitely made it a lot easier. Now, I do believe you can unlock this at any point if you really want a crazy challenge. So if you guys want to complete this, open up your map, and I will skip most of the walk, but you need to get up to the top of Mount Yotei Shrine. If you guys haven't done this yet, the entrance is right here next to the white dye house, and like I said, you can do this pretty early on in the game. So I'm going to skip most of the walk up and just show you guys the actual boss fight. If you guys have done this already, you can just simply fast travel back up to the shrine. Now, I'm going to show you guys a few tips before we get into the fight. It's definitely going to make it a ton easier. So you want to set up a campsite, and you want to make sure you actually have all of your abilities ready. So you can come in here and you can actually craft your ammo, you can craft your gear, your throwables, all that stuff, the consumables. And then you can go and cook and you get extra defense as well. This will help a little bit with the fight, especially if you're going in a bit under leveled. Now, I'm going to actually show you guys a strategy that I use to make sure that you actually don't take any damage from this boss whatsoever. So I kind of got a perfect clear of it. And so since you're not really going to have to worry too much about taking damage, I do believe you can do this at just about any level. So long as you have a high enough spirit, you won't have to really worry too much about your health. This fight, at least with my strategy, will really only require you to have a lot of spirit upgrades. Now, there is also a special armor you can wear. Because we're so high up on the mountain during the boss fight, you're actually going to get frostbite, and there's special armor you can wear to get rid of these effects. But because the boss is so strong, he can one hit you, and due to that fact, it really doesn't matter what armor you wear, you're going to get one hit regardless of what you wear. Now, I hadn't been up here. I know I beat the whole campaign and somehow hadn't come up here. I know a lot of people had, but if you hadn't noticed, there's actually a secret unlock up here as well. So don't miss that before we get into the boss fight, because I know I had missed it. So just in case you did, go ahead and pick this up as well. At the Pillar of the Fallen, you can go ahead and pick up the sword. And then if you look down into that crater, there's an altar, so you can get some extra upgrade points in there very quickly as well. So this is all going to help with the fight. I don't mean to delay it, but these are all tips and tricks to actually help you guys out if you didn't notice. Now, go ahead and get this shrine out the way, and then when you're ready, come back to the campfire. This is where you're going to activate it, but you'll notice it says you have to equip the 5 charms. So you have to come in here. You should have all 5 of the charms, which are labeled the Takezos. So go ahead and put all of them on. And then you can select your armor. Now, this blue armor here, this is the one that's the frostbite armor, and I did run it in order to beat the boss. It's definitely not required, like I was saying, but that's just one thing that I ran. So it is called the Taro's armor. Now, once you have all of your charms equipped, simply wait at the fire. You're going to want to do this after you do all your upgrades and things. Otherwise, it's going to start the boss fight early. So now that we're actually in the boss fight, I'm going to show you guys the strategy that I use to actually beat the entire boss fight without taking any damage whatsoever. So just another quick look at the build that I'm using and everything that I decided to run. Now, I got through the entire fight with the dual katanas. You won't need anything else to get through this using my method. Now, this method is actually pretty cool because it staggers the boss throughout the entire fight so that he actually can't do any damage to you. This will require you guys to have an unlock for the dual katanas, which will allow you guys to completely disarm all enemies, and it's about halfway down the skill tree. So once you guys have started the boss fight, I'm going to show you guys how to get through it without taking any damage at all. So once the boss fight starts, he will immediately come at you and can get you down pretty quickly. You want to let the boss come at you a little bit and then use the L1 and R1 effects. Now, make sure you have your kunai ready as well. As soon as the boss takes damage, you switch to your dual katanas. And what you can do is you can do 4 attacks. You want to get 1, 2, 3, 4 attacks in, throw a kunai. What this does is because you use that L1 and R1 ability, it disarms the boss of his dual katanas. Now, anytime the boss has dual katanas, I'm going to be honest, it's pretty much impossible to beat him in my opinion, or at least using my method. So what this does is every time the boss goes to pick up his dual katanas, you're going to stagger him with a kunai. So you'll see here, you get 1, 2, 3, 4 attacks in, and you just simply throw the kunai to stagger the boss. If you do this improperly, or if the boss has his dual katanas out, he can actually completely block the kunai attacks, and so it makes it pretty hard to complete this. So you notice now we've gotten through the entire first phase of this boss fight. Every time you get about a quarter of the boss's health down, he's going to block all of your attacks. But this is actually perfect. This is what allows us to now switch to our other gadget. So you'll notice as soon as the boss throws up this block ability here, I've run through all my kunai. I'm now going to switch to my smoke bombs while we're blocking each other because I know I don't have to worry about him hitting me. So this gives me the perfect opportunity to go and switch to these while we're blocked up. So you'll notice we still haven't taken any damage, but as soon as we get out of this, because we staggered him and he still hasn't picked back up his dual katana, we can smoke him out again and restart the process. You get 3 hits this time, maybe 4 because the smokes are a little more weak against the boss, and restart the process. You'll notice every time he gets unstaggered, he's going to try to get back to his dual katana. So you want to try and keep an eye as to where he drops it. I know with all the snow, it can be tough to remember where he drops it. But if you can remember where it is, it helps a bit to keep him away from it. Now, we're going to get through the second phase. We got through the second phase, no damage taken by using all of our smokes. Again, he's going to throw out this block phase. We're going to switch to our other gadget now. We're going to switch to our smokes. Throw that one down, stagger him out again. Make sure he doesn't pick up that dual katana. Again, restart the process. 3 swipes, another smoke. 3 swipes, another smoke. Now, at this point, you should have your spirit back. Go ahead and just swipe him with another disarm. It's not going to do much because he doesn't have his dual katanas. While that's going, you switch it over to another gadget, stagger him up again. And like I said, you just completely restart this process. Now, if I was just slightly a little stronger, I actually messed this up slightly. So I wasn't able to finish off the boss. As you can see here, I completely ran out of all my gadgets and the boss still has a little bit of health left. But I got pretty lucky here. I was able to get it the perfect parry, finish off the boss, and take absolutely no damage throughout the fight. So I think this is pretty replicable. Hopefully it helps you out to get through this pretty easily, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.